Several weeks ago, I had a health concern that I think you should hear about. If for no other reason, just so you can pray for me when things like this happen. But it affected the channel a little bit and caused us to innovate during the meantime. I'll tell you about that in just a few moments. But I want to say that in this video, I'm going to show an image that I'll warn you before it comes, but an image of my face, and it could be more concerning than it usually is. So just know that that's coming. But in November of last year, I was about to go to Australia and was a little concerned because I felt underneath my nose, actually on this side, I felt a little nodule underneath the skin, maybe half the size of a BB if you ever shot a BB gun, had the BB in your hand.
I think that everybody should have a Red Ryder BB gun.
Really small, nothing too much to be concerned about. I asked a couple of friends who are in the medical profession and they said, hey, it's probably just a pimple underneath the skin or something. If you go to your general practitioner, he's probably just going to tell you to leave it alone. Maybe he'll drain it. Who knows? It's not that big of a deal. I wouldn't worry about it. So I went on to Australia and had a great time there, holidays. Then in March, beginning of March, I was about to go to a conference in Sarasota, Florida with What Do You Meme, IP, Alyssa Childers, Frank Turek, David Wood was going to be there, Vocab Malone, and others. And I was really excited about this. It was going to be a lot of fun. Didn't get to go because the night before, this thing had swelled up to the point that it did kind of look like a large pimple underneath the skin. And I thought, I'm actually going to be emceeing this conference. I'm going to be, in that sense, a face that's on stage. I don't want to say the face of the conference.
I don't have an ugly face. You have an ugly face.
The face of the conference was going to look pretty nasty. So I decided to do what would be very tempting for all of you. And though many of you told your kids this, you're going to yell at the internet that I shouldn't have done this.
Do it.
My wife told me I shouldn't do it even before I did it, but I began to pick at it. I thought if I could drain it, this is disgusting, but I thought if I could drain it before I go on this trip, maybe it'll go down. It won't look as weird. Everything will be fine.
Pimple popper.
The problem was it began to swell up such that the left side of my face was just so puffy that it was tight on my skin. Here's an image of what that looked like. I'm sorry you're having to see this, but as you can see, this looked pretty rough. It was concerning. I contacted the folks in Florida. There was no way I was going to be able to make it to the church to do the conference. When I picked at it, we think that was when it became infected with MRSA. And so there was a MRSA infection, which can be serious, but that meant I was hit with every imaginable antibiotic. I was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days, then went home and was on antibiotics for weeks. And that wasn't pleasant at all for any of you who've ever been on antibiotics. And then after several weeks, getting almost done with the antibiotics, I go to my general practitioner. He takes a look at it and he says, this is kind of concerning, especially since you're at high risk for melanoma skin cancer.
Oh, my worst fears are happening.
You need to go to this ear, nose, and throat doctor who also happens to be a cosmetic surgeon and see what he thinks about it. So I schedule that. I go to that. The guy says, oh, it's nothing to worry about, I don't think. But he took a biopsy, and when he did, he said, I'm going to tell you, I know I said it doesn't look like anything to worry about. It does look like cancer. Well, I kind of was like, cancer? And he said, well, your wife did say you were kind of a hypochondriac. And I thought, well, okay, maybe I am. But you say the cancer word out loud like that, it doesn't matter who you are, that's going to get your attention. Now, as he told me quickly, and I should say this, and to lower the stakes a little bit, if you're going to get cancer, this is the kind of cancer that can be dealt with a lot of times. I had to wait a week for the biopsy to get back, and I was concerned about that. And if it did come back that I had cancer, they would have to go in and dig more and get this out. Praise God, it wasn't cancer. The doctor said this is one of the few times that he's been wrong looking at it like that. And it's not, and I don't have to do anything else but wait for it to heal. And so praise God, if you did know and you were praying for me, or you just generally pray for my health and well-being, I so appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful to the doctors and medical professionals that helped in this. So it wasn't too big of a deal, but it felt like a really big deal. And that has impacted the channel because for much of this time, as you can tell, I didn't look too great. And I didn't really want to be seen on camera. And I think it would be a huge distraction, especially for videos that perhaps would live on for many, many years. Now, that said, it has caused me to focus on the content that we already have. And one thing that we have that's kind of a secret weapon is years of content that has never been used as shorts, and that people have told us all the time should be clipped down into, say, 10 to 15 minute clips that some people who don't want to listen to the long videos would appreciate more. And so I've been doing that, as you've seen if you've paid attention to the channel. And what I've discovered through this is how to hone hopefully some of my skills at shorts. And now we get tens of thousands of views through shorts. Many shorts have 10,000 or more views on them. So praise God for that. That's really moving in a positive direction. And has helped bring in a lot of new subscribers and new eyeballs to the channel. And all of those shorts go out on all the platforms with their various versions of shorts. So that's good. As for the videos themselves, the 10 to 15 minute videos that I've been cutting haven't done as well. I think our audience likes longer form content in general, but we're also fostering hopefully a new crowd that might be more willing to listen to 10 to 15 minutes. So that may take time. But I see all of this as good, and we're experimenting quite a bit. If you see that videos look different, that's why. But it's all been because I wanted to keep the channel going and doing something while I was not on screen. And I found some ways to do that have been working. And so I thank God for that. If you support what we're doing here, I just want you to know, thank you so much. I sit here sometimes, I thought in the hospital room when I was laying there thinking about a lot of things, but also thinking about the channel and all of you and how I like to make these videos. And I know that a lot of you listen to them on a regular basis. And many of you have talked about how they've impacted you positively. And I praise God for that. But if you have prayed for us and supported us in that way, well, praise God. But if you have supported us financially, I just want you to know it has really helped. It helps in times where I need to travel somewhere or we need a new piece of equipment. Right now we need a new camera. I haven't had a new camera in years and years. Need a new camera, but you help make that sort of thing possible, and all of the services and software that we get. And thank you so much. If you don't financially support the channel, we would so greatly appreciate it if you did. It will go towards a ministry that I believe God is using, and I see the emails that demonstrate that to me. Thank you for all that you have done for us. Thank you for your listening and paying attention and just sharing the videos. And thank God He's got me through this time. It wasn't a big deal, but one day, my time on this earth will end. And if the Lord does not return in my lifetime, then I will see that day when I taste death, as we all will if the Lord doesn't come in our lifetime. But you know what? When that day happens, I have peace. I have peace that I know where I'm going, and I know who my King is, and I can't wait to see Him. I'll see you next time on Trinity Radio.